briefings that the Commission holds to make sure that Ugandans know what the Commission is doing in respect of its mandate to conduct and organize elections. We have here the chairperson of the Electoral Commission, Justice Byabakama Mugenyi Simon, and next to him is the Secretary of the Commission, Mr. Richard Kamjishababo. Let me request Paul Bakabulindi to come and commit this briefing in God's hands, and then we'll start. Oh, we also have a number of members of management. We have Mr. Cyprian Ogwang. Cyprian, stand up, because sometimes they say, who was that person seated behind? We don't know. Mr. Cyprian Ogwang is the Acting Director of Finance and Administration. Mr. Ochama, Ahmad Ochama, is the Head of Voter Data Management. And Mr. Samuel Chiyinji is Acting Head of Election Management. You're welcome. Paul, you can use any language that you like.
Thank you so much, Julius. Good morning, everyone. Let's humble ourselves for prayer. Simple prayer. Kitaffe Katonda omulungi Taata, tukwebaza olw'ekirabo eky'obulamu ekiri ky'otuwadde, tukwebaza olw'okututambuza n'otutuusa wano olunaku lwaleero. Bannaffe abakyali mu kkubo tukusaba batambuze bulungi nabo basobole okutuuka. Teekateeka emitima gyaffe, teekateeka ssentebe w'akakiiko k'ebyokulonda bulungi, ebigambo byagenda okwogera n'amawulire gagenda okutuusa mu bannayuganda bonna, gwongere okubakumaakuma, gwongere okubawa essuubi. Teekateeka eggwanga lyaffe, teekateeka buli muntu eggwanga lisobole okubeera n'akalulu ak'emirembe ate nga k'amazima. Tusaba abantu bonna okukkiriza ebyo byonna ebigenda okwogerwa ssentebe w'akakiiko k'ebyokulonda, ate tulowooza nti birina kye bigenda okukyusa. Tubikusabye nga tuyita mu linnya lyo Omwana Yesu Kristo, emirembe n'emirembe. Amen.
Webale nnyo Paul Bakabulindi. Esaala tumanyi nti Katonda agiwulidde. On that note, Lord Chair, I would like to take this opportunity to invite you to speak to the country through this press conference. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Julius, and our invited guests. Good morning. Muli bulungi? Naffe tuli bulungi. Kiki ekigane? Tewali ekiganye wama. Katonda gyali. Ladies and gentlemen, members of the press, I'm pleased to welcome you to the Electoral Commission on this press briefing to appraise the nation through you, esteemed members of the Fourth Estate, about the progress we are making so far, or we have made in implementing the 2025-26 general elections roadmap. On behalf of the Electoral Commission, I would like to thank you for your continued role in ensuring that citizens are made aware of the different aspects of the electoral process, and thereby contributing to enabling them make informed decisions and choices about who will lead them, as provided for in Article 1, Clause 4 of the 1995 Constitution. I will begin with the progress of implementation of the roadmap. Since the roadmap for the 2025-26 general elections was launched in August 2023 and revised in July 2024, the Commission has been able to accomplish the following milestones. 1, we have successfully completed the demarcation of local government electoral areas and the reorganization of polling stations for the general elections. We have also undertaken the general update of the National Voters Register, as well as compiling the special interest groups registers. We've been able to conduct the public display of the National Voters Register. We have also been able to conduct the elections of special interest groups, committees, from the village to national level. We have also conducted nomination of candidates for presidential, general parliamentary, and local government councils elections. As a result of the above activities and others, some of the basic statistics for the 2026 general elections are as follows. Number of districts in Uganda as of 13th November 25, 146. Number of counties, 312. Number of constituencies, 353. Number of sub-counties, or towns, or municipal divisions, 2,191. Number of parishes, 10,717. Number of villages, 71,214. Number of polling stations, 50,739. Number of registered voters, 21,681,491. 21,681,491. Out of this total number of registered voters, the male voters are 10,334,362. 10,334,362, which makes 47% of the total number of registered voters. And the female voters are 11,347,129, which translates into 53% of the registered voters. So the female voters are much more than the male. The Commission would once again wish to urge all the registered voters to turn up on the respective polling days to exercise their right to vote and choose leaders of their choice at all levels. The Electoral Commission will soon issue or begin issuance of the voter allocation slips to the voters across the country, detailing or particularizing their respective polling stations to enable them conveniently locate their respective polling stations on polling day. We are directing the EC staff, especially the parish supervisors, under the supervision of the sub-county supervisors and the district election administrators, to make sure that every voter gets his or her voter location slip. The next item I would like to talk about is the nomination of candidates. Following the conclusion of the nominations, a total of 83,597 candidates were nominated to contest for the 45,505 elective positions, right from president to sub-county councillor. The nominated candidates were flagged off to conduct campaigns at all levels following the guidelines issued by the Commission. However, and unfortunately, since nominations, some of the nominated candidates at different levels have since passed on. And the Commission has therefore, in accordance with Section 26 of the Parliamentary Elections Act, set aside or appointed Thursday, 27th and Friday, 28th of November this year as the dates for conducting fresh nominations in the various electoral areas across the country. Because that's what the law says, that where a candidate dies before polling, the Electoral Commission shall conduct fresh nominations to fill that gap. However, those who were already nominated for that position and are still alive will not have to go through another nomination process. Those ones will remain nominated candidates. Now the particulars of the said are as follows. Name of deceased, Tumuikirize Kakuba Pejel, District Kasanda, position contested sub-county chairperson. Party independent. Electoral area Manyogaseka sub-county. Next is Kubao Patrick, deceased, District Kabong. Position contested male older persons representing Loyoro sub-county. And that's the electoral area. The other deceased candidate is Woti Julius Paul, Bududa district. Sub-county directly elected councillor. Party NRM. Electoral area Bukwahata, Bukibokolo sub-county. Ugandan names. Next deceased candidate Akelo Joan, District Kwania. Position District Woman Councillor. Party NRM. Electoral area Ayabi Town Council. The other deceased candidate is Sembuzi Gerald, Nakasongola District. Position Sub-County directly elected councillor. Party NRM. Electoral area Kisalizi Wampanga Sub-County. The other deceased candidate is Nagudi Beth Sironko District. Position Sub-County Woman elected councillor. Party NRM. Electoral area Bukise Sub-County. The other candidate, the deceased candidate is Mweba Zerecho, District Tororo. Sub-County Woman Councillor. NRM. Electoral area Asinget Kayoro Sub-County. As mentioned, all these are local government positions. And as mentioned earlier, those who are already nominated are not going to be part of this fresh nomination exercise. Aspiring candidates, therefore, for those positions in those areas are advised to obtain nomination forms and guidelines for the respective local government council electoral position from their district electoral commission offices, or obtain soft copies of the forms and guidelines from the Electoral Commission website, www.ec.or.ug. Polling dates. Although we have announced this before, but we keep reminding people through you. Following the conclusion of the nomination at all levels, the Commission appointed the polling dates for the various elective positions under the General Elections Roadmap. As by way of reminder, the following are the dates for the information with the general public. Elections of the President and members of Parliament, both directly elected and district woman woman representative, 15th January 2026. National Conference for Election of Persons with Disabilities Representatives to Parliament, 19th January 2026. Election of councillors representing special interest groups, that is youth, older persons, and PWDs at sub-county, town, or municipal division, 19th January 2006. Election of councillors representing special interest groups, youth, older persons, PWDs at municipality or city division, 20th January 2026. National Conference for Election of Workers Representatives to Parliament, 21st January 2026. Elections of district local government councils, that is, district or city chairpersons, Lord Mayor, mayors, and councillors, 22nd January 2026. Elections of municipality stroke city division chairpersons and councillors, 27th January 2026. National Conference for Election of National Female Youth Representative to Parliament, 28th January 2026. National Conference for Election of National Female Older Persons Representative to Parliament, 28th January 2026. Army Council Meeting for Election of UPDF Representatives to Parliament, 28th January 2026. Election of councillors representing special interest groups at district or city level, 29th January 2026. Regional Conference for Election of Older Persons Representatives to Parliament, 2nd February 2026. Elections of sub-county, stroke town or municipal division chairpersons and councillors, 4th February 2026. Finally, regional conferences for election of regional youth representatives to Parliament, 6th January 2026. In other words, the elections that are stipulated in Article 61 Clause 2 shall all be held between 15th January and 6th February, including for the special interest groups. We wish to call upon all stakeholders, political parties, the candidates, observers, security agencies, civil society, and the electorate to take note of the respective polling dates and prepare accordingly to participate meaningfully in the elections. The other matter I want to talk about is the management of petitions arising out of the nomination exercise. The handling of petitions and complaints are an essential and legitimate part of the electoral process. The Commission received several petitions arising from the recently concluded nomination exercise. In total, the Commission received about 300 petitions and complaints, mostly arising out of the nomination exercise at local government and parliamentary levels. Each petition has been carefully considered and determined based on the law, the Commission's constitutional mandate, and the evidence, as well as the merits of each case. I would like to state that while the number of 300 may appear high, when you consider that it is taken out of, or they arise out of over 83,000 nominated candidates for 45,505 elective positions, it becomes clear that the majority of the nominations were undertaken and concluded without any complaint or grievance. Nonetheless, the Commission remains committed to ensuring fair, just, and timely resolution of all matters submitted before it. The other activity that we have undertaken and is still ongoing is the production of ballot papers for the general elections. And we procured the services of reputable international and local printing firms to produce the ballot papers for the 2026 general elections. For presidential, directly elected member of parliament, district women representatives to parliament, district/city chairpersons, district/city directly elected councillors, district/city women councillors, the award was given to Al Ghurair Printing and Publishing LLC in Dubai, United Arab Emirates. For sub-county, town, municipal division chairpersons, the contract was awarded to Uniprint SA, Durban, South Africa. For sub-county, town, municipal division, directly elected councillors, the contract was awarded to Inform Lycos, Hellos, Athens, Greece. Together, this one also includes sub-county, town, municipal division, women councillors. Then for councillors representing special interest groups at the district, city, municipality, sub-county, town, municipal division, local governments, Sintel Security, Nairobi, Kenya. Then for municipalities, city division chairpersons, and women councillors, the contract was awarded to Peak Fair Industries Limited, Uganda. Then for municipality, city division, directly elected councillors, Graphics Systems, Kampala, Uganda. The production of ballot papers for the various elective positions is currently underway and progressing well. The Commission advises political parties which are contesting the presidential elections to submit the names of their official agents who will be accredited to witness the delivery of the ballot papers at the airport in the case of ballot papers which are printed out of the country, and eventual delivery at our warehouses in the case of ballot papers and other election materials printed within the country. This measure is intended to ensure transparency and stakeholder confidence in the handling of election materials. I'd also like to update the country upon the technology to be deployed during polling for 2026 general elections. The Electoral Commission is empowered under the law to adopt and use technology in the management of elections. Specifically, Statutory Instrument Number 2 of 2021 enjoins the Commission to use technology in the electoral processes. Accordingly, the Commission has procured 109,142 by 109,142 biometric voter verification kits, or BVVK, which will be deployed for the 26 general elections as a measure aimed at improving the management and conduct of elections through authentication of voter identity, of the correct voter or the right voter. Out of these 60,000 kits have so far been delivered in the country, and the balance of 49,142 kits is expected at the end of this month, this November. The BVK basically uses fingerprints and facial recognition. This is a new feature. If your fingerprints are worn out, we should be able to recognize you by the face. There is an application in the kit which will identify you or recognize you by your face, so as to match voter details, which will help the presiding officer to confirm the identity of the voter as being the one on the voter's register of that polling station. The system will enable the Commission to ensure that only registered voters or persons vote or are given ballot papers to vote during the elections, and that such persons or voters do not vote more than once for that same election. Hence, it will help the Commission achieve the one man, one woman vote principle. But we want you to note that this system of BVVK was first deployed in the 2016 general elections. It was slightly improved and used again in 2021 general elections. This system for 2026 has now been further upgraded. These devices will be deployed to all the 50,739 polling stations to enhance credibility of the electoral process. Currently, the Commission is conducting the exercise of recruitment of the 50,739 persons who will be operating these machines at each polling station on the various polling days. The Commission is also conducting recruitment of 1,050 persons who will be trainers for the operators. We must have people who will train the operators who will be working on the at the polling stations. Now these are 1,050. So that's the process we are backing. But we are also now, for the moment, I think, training our own people who will take part in training the trainers. Okay? At the same time, the Commission has commenced training of technical staff who will in turn be trainers of trainers to ensure there is full knowledge of how to operate the kits by all staff involved. A stakeholder engagement program featuring public demonstration of the kit, because people have been asking me, but you are aware, you are not telling the people about the kit, you are not sensitizing the people. That is coming. So a stakeholder engagement program featuring public demonstration of the kit will commence in the coming days, during which representatives of all political parties and candidates, election observers, civil society groups, the media, and the general public will be taken through practical rehearsal sessions about how the kits work. Our silence for now is not because we want to keep these things secret or we don't want the people to know. No, the hallmark of our operations is transparency and inclusivity. For now, we want to prepare everything, the trainers, those who will be able to carry the public through these processes, test the kit with the involvement of members of the public. So that's why for now, we felt we need to hold on until we go out and sensitize the public about the process. Accreditation of election observers and the media is also another aspect. The Electoral Commission is mandated under Section 16, subsection 1, the Electoral Commission Act, to accredit any individual, group or institution to act as election observers. Accreditation of the observers will be done both at the Electoral Commission headquarters and in the districts or cities across Uganda. Right now, we are receiving a number of applications from both local and international groups, missions, embassies, missions, international bodies, regional bodies, continental bodies, who want to observe our elections. And for us, we accredit as many as those who have expressed interest, provided they meet the basic criteria. So all international and national observers who will be working in Kampala region, which comprises the districts of Mukono, Wakiso, and Kampala, will be accredited from the Electoral Commission headquarters in Kampala. National observers for the rest of the districts will be accredited at the respective city/district Electoral Commission offices by the district accreditation committees. The Commission will accredit national and international election observers and media practitioners who wish to follow and report on the electoral processes. Accreditation of observers is essential for ensuring transparency, professionalism, and orderly conduct during one pre-polling period. Like now we are in the pre-polling period. Then the polling days, vote counting process, results declaration processes, and then the post-polling processes. The media houses and observer groups are encouraged to submit their applications early to avoid delays. Campaigns for the 2026 general elections. As mentioned earlier, the campaign period for candidates contesting the various elective positions is currently underway. The Electoral Commission issued campaign guidelines which were well shared with all political parties, candidates, stakeholders, and members of the public. The Commission wishes to appreciate those candidates and their supporters who have complied with the campaign guidelines, particularly in observing the harmonized campaign program, the agreed venues, the campaign time, and using suitable language. This has enabled the smooth conduct of campaigns in many parts of the country. We have, however, noted incidences where some candidates, their agents, or supporters have deviated from the guidelines. The following have been reported and observed as some of the particular areas for non-compliance. 1. Organizing or holding processions along public roads that violate traffic rules and disrupt the mobility or movement of other people and trade in the affected areas, and which has sometimes resulted in what would have been avoidable confrontation with the law enforcement agencies. Secondly, some candidates are making impromptu stops and addressing the public in non-scheduled locations like markets, trading centers. Wherever they find people, you want to address them. And yet the campaign program says you go to the designated campaign venue, which has been agreed upon with the participation or with consultations with the security of the area. The other breach or non-compliance is in the use of defamatory words and language, which incites disorder, hatred, and threatens or incites violence. The other issue is the tearing or removal or defacing of candidates' posters and banners. Then some areas we noted, like in, I think in Kiruhura, where some people took it upon themselves to assault or to harass the supporters of a candidate who was in that area. All these acts are prohibited, they are not necessary, and they distort the good aspects of our electoral processes. We strongly condemn acts of violence, hooliganism, and intolerance that have been reported in some areas across the country. We also condemn acts of deliberate defiance and non-compliance with the guidelines as issued by the Electoral Commission. We wish to strongly appeal to all candidates, their agents, supporters, and the general public to adhere to lawful and peaceful campaign conduct. This is necessary and required for all the candidates to be compliant, to observe the guidelines, and ensure that they maintain law and order. Some of the candidates have been campaigning at night in real darkness. And yet the guidelines say campaigns should stop at 6 p.m. Some have even going on beyond 8 p.m. 9 p.m. This is wrong. The Commission has established the mechanism for receiving, hearing, and determining complaints and issues during the campaigns. The Commission has so far held 2 scheduled meetings with agents of presidential candidates and security in order to address any emerging issues of concern that have arisen during the campaigns. Next week, we're again scheduled to have another meeting because we have so far held 2. We hold them normally. We held one at the beginning of the presidential campaigns. After the first 30 days, we had another one. Now we are going to the second 30 days. We are going to have another one next week, where we believe we shall address many of these issues that have emerged that have created some kind of distortion on the whole process that has hitherto been moving on smoothly. But it's not everywhere. It's not everywhere. Just a few individuals. Eh? I would like to state that the Commission will not hesitate to apply sanctions against any individual or political party or organization that violates the campaign guidelines or engages in activities that threaten the integrity of the electoral process. We wish to emphasize that compliance with the law remains a shared responsibility of all stakeholders in the electoral process. And as we have said time and again, the desire, the quest to have a peaceful, free and fair election is on the shoulders of everybody who has a stake in the electoral process, not the Electoral Commission alone. Ask yourself, do I have a role or a stake to play in this general election? If I do, then whatever I'm required to do, let me do it in accordance with the law and the guidelines. Let me observe good conduct, civility, and common decency. Simple. All these things people are talking about, you see what is taking place, those things can end tomorrow. It's a question of choice. What do the actors choose to do is the primary question. If they choose to act in a manner that is law-abiding, you won't see any problem. In conclusion, I wish to assure the country that the Electoral Commission remains firmly in charge. I've heard people say, Electoral Commission is not in charge. They are keeping quiet. It's not that everything we do, we get on the microphone. There are so many things that we do, people don't know. All of them geared or aimed at ensuring that we have a credible process. When it is appropriate for us to come out and speak, we speak. And alert the people and correct and make corrections and guide and counsel people on how they ought and are expected to behave or conduct themselves. We want to assure the country we are in charge. And we are firmly on course to fulfill our constitutional mandate in accordance with Articles 60 and 61 of the Constitution. To organize, conduct, and supervise regular, free, and fair and transparent elections and referenda. Once again, let me say this. A credible electoral process is a shared responsibility. We continue to call upon all stakeholders, the political parties, candidates, their agents and supporters, security agencies, civil society, groups, religious leaders, the business community, the media, as well as the public, to conduct themselves peacefully and in accordance with the people, with the law. As we move towards polling, the Commission remains committed to delivering the 2026 general elections in a transparent, timely, inclusive, and credible manner. We will continue to share timely updates as the electoral program progresses, and we urge all Ugandans to uphold peace, respect, and lawful participation throughout the entire electoral cycle. We want to urge all Ugandans to be tolerant with one another. Even if you don't agree with this candidate or you are not supporting that candidate, please, what he or she is doing is lawful. You have no right to take up sticks or stones or whatever and try to assault this candidate or discourage him or her from coming to your area or campaigning in your area. Let him or her be. So let us be tolerant. Let us be respectful and mindful that Uganda will always be there even after elections are concluded. Thank you for listening to me. For God and my country. Basebo ne banyabo njagala kubebaza bamawulira bazze wano lwaleero. Mwebale nnyo okuwagira kikiiko kebyokulonda. Buli kaseera tuba tulina ebitwagala okutegeeza eggwanga ebikwata ku biki bye tutambulirako era mukola omulimu munene. Njagala kubebaza ab'amawulire. Olwaleero twayise olukungaana luno okusobola okutegeeza eggwanga waabwe tuyimiridde, biki bye tutuuseeko, biki ebigenda mu maaso, ate ne biki bye tusuubira nga tugenda nga tutambula nga tulindirira okulonda okwa omwaka guno 2026. Bitwakatuukako bitwakamaliriza kwe okulongoosa ebifo bironderwamu ne polling stations, enkalala z'abalonzi. Twamala okukola omulimu ogwo, twazitereeza, twatandika n'okulonda kwa special interest groups. Kati kaweefuba waliwo kati ne twamaliriza na okusunsulamu abagenda kwesimbawo mu bifo byonna, kuviira ddala ku pulezidenti kutuukira ddala mu bifo bya gavumenti z'ebitundu. Ku bye tukoze ebivuddemu kwegamba nti bye bino districts ze tulina kati mu Uganda ziri 146, amasaza 312, constituencies za palamenti 353, amagombolola oba towns oba municipal divisions 2,191, emiruka 1,717, ebyalo 7,214, polling stations 5,739. Abannayuganda abalonzi abali ku nkala z'abalonzi bali obukadde 21 n'emitwalo 6,891. Kwabo abalonzi bonna abakyala be basinga obungi. Abakyala bali bukadde 11 emitwalo 34,729. Abaami bali obukadde 10 emitwalo 33,462. Twagala okunga abalonzi bonna obakubiriza nti ku lunaku lw'okulonda muveeyo mwenna mukozesa obuyinza bwamwe bwabaweebwa mu ssemateeka. Mu biseera bitali byawala tujja kuba tuweereza akapapula katuyita voter location slip akaliko amanya g'omulonzi ne polling station yagenda okulonderako. Kwegamba ku lunaku lw'okulonda aleme kusooka kwetooloola agenda ku polling station eno n'adda eri naye amanye nti bwenva waka polling station eri gindi. Tujja kuba tukozesa abantu baffe abali mu bitundu byonna by'eggwanga, aba supervisors abali ku miruka n'abali ku magombolola n'aba district election administrators mu kaweefube ono okulaba nti buli mulonzi yenna afuna akapapula ako. Twamaliza okusunsulamu abeesimbyewo omukutwalira wamu twafuna emitwalo 8,397 ba candidates abeesimbyewo kuviira ddala ku kifo kya president n'okutuukira ddala ku bakansala b'amagombolola. Ebifo byesimbyewo biri 45,555. Naye eky'omukisa omubi waliwo bannaffe bambi abavudde mu bulamu bw'ensi eno nga bamaze okusunsulwamu nga ba candidates. Amateeka gatugamba nti candidate bwafa ng'okulonda tekunabeerawo, akakiiko k'ebyokulonda kalina okuteekawo enteekateeka nomination empya oba nomination okujjuza ekifo ky'oyo candidate afudde. Naye bali abaali basunsuddwa ku kifo ekyo nga bakyali balamu tebajja kuddamu ate okusunsulwamu nedda. Ebifo bino biri mu Kasanda, tulina ekifo kimu, Chairperson wegombolola. Kabonga tulinayo omu eyali yeesimbye ku kifo kya abakadde. Bududa tulina ekifo kimu kyali kyesimbyewo ku bwakansala wegombolola. Kwania ekifo kimu ky'omukyala wa kansala wa district. Nakasongola naye waliwo ekifo kimu ky'omu kansala wegombolola. Sironko naye waliwo ekifo kimu kya kansala omukyala kansala kirira abakyala kugombolola. Ne Tororo waliwo ekifo kimu ekya omukiikize w'abakyala kansala kugombolola. Twagala okubiriza abo bonna abaagala kwesimba mu bifo bino ngu ennaku z'enkya 27 na 28 omukolo guno bwe gugenda okubeerawo, enteekateeka eno bwegenda okukolebwa mu bifo ebyo, si ggwanga lyonna naye wali mu bifo bye tumaze okulanga era twamaze okutegeeza ba district administrators abali mu district okutegeeza abantu bonna mu district oba mugombolola nti ekifo kino bwe kiri abaagala kwesimbawo. Nga bwe twalambika nti ennaku z'okulonda twamala zitegeeza eggwanga, naye twagala kubajjukiza kulonda ku bwa president genda kunaba member of parliament kugenda kubeera lunaku lumu ng'ennaku 15 omwezi gw'olubereberye oba January 26. Conference oba olukungaana olw'okulonda olw'aba abaliko obulemu okulonda abakiikize baabwe mu parliament olujja kubeera ng'ennaku 19 mwezi gwa January. Ate okulonda ba councillors abakulembera special interest groups abavubuka older persons n'abaliko bulema ku magombolola town municipal division bijja kubeera ennaku 11 n'ebirala nga bwe mbinyonyodde omujja bisanga mu mpapula waffe. Twagala okukubiriza abo bonna ebitongole ebibiina by'obufuzi abeesimbyewo abo abasabye okubeera bakalabalaba oba observers n'ebitongole by'okwerinda ebitongole bya nakyewa n'abalonzi bonna n'abawagizi bonna nti ennaku zino muzijjukire kubanga mulina okutandika okweteekateeka okulonda. Mu kaseera kano twakafunako okwemulugunya okwava mu kusunsulwamu kwa candidates kulinga 300 obwogatawamu okwemulugunya okuvudde mu kusunsulwa kwa member of parliament na gavumenti z'ebitundu. Okuva omwezi ogw'omwenda ndowooza ennaku zaali 11 commission ebadde tuula buli lunaku okutunulira mu nsonga zino petitions oba emisango oba okwemulugunya kwovudde mu kulonda. Era n'olunaku lwaleero nga sinajja wano nsoose kutuula na bamateeka baffe nga tutunula egimu ku misango oba okwemulugunya kuno kwetubadde tuwuliriza. Enkola yaffe tusinziira mu mateeka nga constitution bwetulagira tutuulanga kooti. Era waliwo abadde abaleeta n'abajulizi ne babuuka ebibuuzo balooya abantu babadde bajjawo ne bapulida baabwe ng'amateeka bwe gakkiriza twegamba ne tuwulira ensonga kwegamba kitunaaba tusazeewo tujja kusooka kwekennenyeza ddala nti ddala ekintu kino kye bagamba kituufu oba si kituufu kiri mu mateeka oba tekiri mu mateeka. Obululu okukuba obululu oba ballot paper printing gwe mulimu gwatandise dda era omulimu ogwo twaguwa kampani ziri 6 ebbiri za wano mu Uganda 4 z'ebweru wa Uganda era zatandise dda okukola omulimu okukuba obululu bwonna mu bifo ebyo byonna nga bwe tugambye. Tusaba oba tusaba ebibiina by'obufuzi n'abo bonna beesimbyewo mutuwa amannya gaba agents bammwe abanaabeerawo ku kisaawe ky'ennyonyi Entebbe nga obululu buno butuuka mu ggwanga nga bamaze obukuba. Eryo ddembe lyammwe mutuwa amannya tujja kuteekayo enteekateeka eneebasooseza ogenda ku kisaawe ku lunaku lwennyini ennyonyi zinaaba zireeta oba binaaba ereeta obululu buno mu ggwanga. Tugenda kukozesa ebyuma bya kalimagezi naddala ku polling station. Ku mulundi guno tulongosezzaamu akuuma katwakozesa mu mwaka 2016 ne mwaka gwa 2021. Kati bw'obanga ekinkumu ky'omulonzi kigaanye okuvaayo bulungi bagenda mukuba kafaananyi. Jjukira nti akuuma kano kaba kalina ekifaananyi kyo, kaba kalina amannya go, enamba yo ng'omulonzi n'ebirala. Kati oba kukuba kafaananyi ekifaananyi kyo bw'obanga oli mulonzi ku polling station eyo ekifaananyi kyo ekiri mu kuuma kijja kuvaayo then bakakase nti oli mulonzi ku polling station eyo. Obuuma buno twakafunako 6,000 naye obulala obusigaddeyo ng'emitwalo 49 tubusuubira okutuuka omwezi guno nga tegunaggwaawo. Buli polling station egenda kubeera n'obuuma obwo ku mulundi teri muchezo ku mulundi guno hakuna muchezo. Buli polling station ejja kubeerako obuuma obwo akamu bukafa nga tuyingizaawo kali. Bw'obanga tulina mukono oba tibagitemako oba ebinkumu tekirabika olina feesi yadde oli muzibe olina feesi akuuma kateeka okumanyiira. Bwegambe tugamba buli muntu yenna okuweebwa akalulu ng'omaze kakasibwa kuuma. Bw'obanga tuli mulonzi polling station eyo akuuma kagenda kugaana tujja kulonda yadde olina endangamuntu naye nga tuli ku polling station eyo bagenda kulaga agwe bw'obaga mu district eyo bagenda kugamba agwe polling station eri gindi naye bw'obalinga oli wampigi oyagala kulondera mukono tebakumanyi n'omukuuma toliimu. Nolwekyo tusaba nti abantu bonna mumanye wa we mugenda okulondera. Ate abo bonna basuubira nti bajja kgenda baleete bululu simanyi babukubidde oba babukubidde wa mu Kampala nga bwe baagala tebagenda buleeta babusonsoke mu bokisi. Sebo ebyo byedda twavaayo dda awo tebijja kubeerawo mubyeragira. Kakati abantu babuuza nti naye lwaki temunatongooza akuuma kano mu bantu temunakanjula temunabategeeza mugenda kakozesa mutya nga abantu tebamanyi mugire mugumikirizeeko. Kati kyetuliko tutraininga abagenda okuyigiriza abantu abanaakozesa kooma ako ku polling stations 5,000 mu 7 nga bwe tugambye. Kati bano be bagenda ku training kubanga abagenda okubeera recruited okukola ku buumu obwo ku polling stations bagenda kubeera 5,000 mu 7. Naye kati tugenda kuwandiika abantu 1,000 abo tugenda oba traininga ate nabo batraininge bali 5,000 mu bitundu bitalimu by'eggwanga abagenda kukola ku buumu kozesa obuumu obwo. Oluvannyuma tujja kuwanjula kuuma kano twali tugambye tujja kusooka tuyite bamawulire oba tunaalaba buli omu tugambe tuwe ebikukwatako ng'omulonzi bw'obanga toli mulonzi tetujja kuteekamu kubanga tetukumanyi mu regisita yaffe tolimu naye bwanga oli mulonzi tujagamba bamawulire ffenna tugambe tujagamba ba mucunguzi nabalala mu PR mufune ebibakwatako tubateeke mukuuma ako buli muntu mugambe jangu teeka yano kinkumu kakola katya oba feesi oba kinkumu kiganye feesi kakola katya ebyo byonna tugenda kubyanjula then tutegeeze n'ebibiina by'obufuzi ebibiina bya nakyewa n'abantu bonna nti sisitimu eno egenda kukola bwete tulina kye tukweka mu kulonda bannange tekiriiwo naye kye tusaba mubeere bagumiikiriza ekiseera bwe kinaatuuka kitali kyawala nnyo tugenda kwanjula akuuma kano kakola mu ngeri ki oba kanaakozesebwa katya abo bonna abaagala okubeera ba observers mu kulonda okuliwo kati oba mu program oba lwaleero oba bino biriwo campaigns oba biki oba ku lunaku luli lwennyini lw'okulonda muli baddembe okuwandikira akakiiko ke byokulonda naddala abo abagenda okuva ebweru wa Uganda. Campaigns nga bwe twategeeza eggwanga okusunsulwamu kwa abo bonna abeesimbyewo ku bifo byonna president, member of parliament, local government batandika kuba campaigns okutwala wamu campaign zitambula bulungi okujjako ky'omukisa omubi bakandidates abamu si bonna n'aba agents baabo n'abawagizi baabo abeeyisa mu ngeri etagondera mateeka ebimu ku reports zitufunye naffe betulabyeko ku mikutu gy'amawulire okuteeka ebivulo omu makubo oli n'atambula n'oluserengite lw'abantu so nga tetwagamba nti amakubo sigaba candidates bokka beesimbyewo ekkubo lina lukusigala liri ya buli omu alina eddembe okutambula gy'alaga naye gwe bw'ovaayo n'okola ekivulo oba procession ng'otambula ku sipiidi y'akasoobo n'osiba ekkubo lyonna ekyo si kya bwenkanya bw'ofuuse nakyemalira that's not right ekyo twatandika okukitongoza ekintu ekyo nga tewanabeerawo na nominations za presidential candidates ku lunaku lwe twasosola ba presidential candidates twabakubiriza nti mugoberere ebiragiro oba mateeka akakiiko agali mu mateeka g'eggwanga amateeka gakwata ku entambula y'ebiduka oba entambula yaffe mu makubo na guidelines zetufulumya nga akakiiko kusinziira mu buyinza bwatuweebwa mu ssemateeka ne tugamba nti ebivulo tebikkirizibwa vuga motoka yo genda wogenda okubira kampeyini abawagizi obasangeyo eri oyogere eri abantu tulaba abakandidisi abakola abakikola naye babamu oba bafuuse ki nantawulira nantamegwa nantagambwako bakola ebintu kwegamba ekyo kyekireesewo ebintu kwegamba nekireetawo embeera nti ab'ebyokwerinda bagezaako okuzza embeera mu nteeko niyo abaawo kukola ki okusikagana muguwa nolwekyo ekintu ekyo tukivumirira ba candidates twabagamba nti mu nteekateeka yammwe yokuba campaigns olina okulaga wa wogenda ku olunaku bwe luti kolagana n'abebibiina ebitongole byokwerinda Uganda Police Force mu district obagambe nja kubeera mu kifo bwe kiti balina okusooka okukakasa ddala ekifo kino candidate kyagamba kituufu is it proper oyinza kugamba ogenda kubeera ku kifo kiri kumpi n'eddwaliro kumpi n'essomero ng'abaana baffe bakola ebibuuzo bweyagala okubeera campaign saba ebitongole byokwerinda omulimu gwaggwe okulaba nti yes candidate gundi ajja kujja mu kifo kino teri kintu kyonna genda kutaataganyizibwa ati naye kakati candidate atuuka mu butale n'atandika kwogerera abantu bakola emirimu gyabwe mu butale, abantu banoonya kasente okwebeesawo, kati oyagala kutaataganya emirimu gyabwe mu bizinesi zaabwe. Buli kubo ogenda n'oyimirira buli kubo, kati abamu lw'okuba nti bajja bayimirira asangawo n'abantu n'ayimirira ekifo kyagenda okuba mu kampeyini agenda kujjukira nti obudde bwewakoze eki bwamuyiseko dda, kati ayagala ayingireyo budde bw'ekiro atandike okukola kampeyini. Poliisi bwevaayo omuzibira nti olaba banzibira. Please let us be responsible. I think the first sign of a good credible leader, responsibility, respect for the law. Ekirala, olulimi olukozesebwa bakandise bamu kwawula mawanga oba mu madiini okukuuma mu bantu omuliro. Kati nyawulira bagamba nti mwe mukuume akalulu kammwe, teri agenda bagana kuuma kalulu. Sebo gwani ogamba abantu bagenda okuuma kalulu. Amateeka gagamba nti abantu abamanyiddwa abakkirizibwa kubeera polling station agents ba candidates, buli candidate akkirizibwa okubeera na agents babiri. Tulinawo ba polling officials abali wansi akakiiko k'ebyokulonda, tulinawo observers abanga bakkiriziddwa oba baweereddwa olukusa okubeera mu kifo ekyo polling station we ziri. Ebibiina by'obufuzi nabyo babiwa omukisa okubeera naba observers. Voter protectors bw'onoonya mu kitabo eky'amateeka tebaliimu, ssebo nnyabo tebaliimu. Abalala temwagala goberera amateeka, kati obiyigiriza amateeka ssebo nnyabo. Voter protector mateeka taliimu, era gwe banaawa simanyi bakuwadde olukusa genda obeere voter protector zikusanze. Nze singa mbadde gwe mukama wange nagamba genda obeere voter protector, nze sijja kuva waka, kubanga abagenda bayoola ng'enseenene mu kinonoke. Abantu betwandiise ani agenda okukuuma kalulu kaffe. Nze nga candidate akalulu kange kanaakuumibwa bata katya? Aba agents boolina polling station kati kamba kyokulabirako basebanyabo. Tulina ba candidates aba presidential candidates bameka 8 si 8 already. Aba agents bameka 16 candidate wabanga yewadde okusindika ba agents. Jukira nti ku polling station yemu ku lunaku lwe lumu tulina akalulu okulonda directly elected member of parliament, tulina okulonda woman member of parliament. Wano mu Kampala bangambe kisuse manya wa bangambe waliwo ba candidates bali 20 bameka, wali 20 oba 2 waliwo constituency limu abesimbe ku kifo kimu 22. Kati ba agents bameka buwa Makindye ba agents bali ba candidates bali 20 already. Those are 40 agents. Gatako ba presidential candidates 8 16 already. Abo ba agents bali 5 kati oyagala ba voter protector bafaanana batya? Ba malayika oba baani? Bano bagenda kubeera ba voter protector bebamanyiddwa mu mateeka. Naye gwe onoojja n'amakooti gondi zi voter protector ojja gasigaawo. Okay, ekirala waliwo bintu abagenda nga boonoona oba basangula campaign posters z'aba agents abalala. Ekyo mu mateeka tekikkirizibwa, musango. Bw'osanga campaign poster ya byabakama candidate nga n'ogiyuliza n'ogyonoona, singa bakukwata ogw'omusango kati bagenda kukusibira ki? Bagenda kusibira bwereere kwonoona campaign. Kati campaign poster eyo bw'ogiyitako n'ogenda okosebwa otya? Bw'ogyonoona ofunamu ki? Ubanga mu nsawo temuli sente bw'oyonoona campaign poster ya gundi we sente buzinaayingira sebo ojja kutambula nga tolina sente n'ebizibu byo. So muleke kwenyigira mu bintu ebitakugasa. There are things which add no value to you. Wabula biva bikuwonoonera n'omukisa gw'olina okukola ebintu by'oyagala kukola n'olwekyo temuwonoona campaign poster. Wali kimu kye twalaba ekyali simanyi ekiruhura. Walaba Nansi bamu abeewaayo ne bakuba simanyi baali bakuba bawagizi ba Kyagulanyi. Kati ekyo eyo mpisa kyeyo. Candidate yenna yasunsulwamu waddembe okugenda mu kifo ekyalaze nti nja kubeera Gindi nkube kampe kuba kiri mu mateeka. Bw'obanga towagira candidate gundi muleke ayitemu genda okola emirimu gyo. Tibakugambye jangu obeere ku kkubo kuba candidate gundi w'otawagira agenda kuyitirawo. Teyakuwaliriza. Naye what is not accepted ekitakkirizibwa abantu okutwala amateeka mu ngalo, okumenya amateeka, in fact not even kutwala amateeka, okumenya amateeka n'otandika okugoba oba okukuba abawagizi ba candidate watawagira. Ekyo tekikkirizibwa eba tukivumirira. Muleke ba candidates bagende bakube campaign zaabwe. Ba candidates mugondera amateeka. Singa mugondera amateeka kirowooza nti nabe ne bisimanyi bebagambe betulaba nti ab'ebitongole by'okwerinda bakoze kino tebijja kubeerawo. Mujjukire we twatangira campaign zino bintu byatambula bulungi era buli omu n'agamba nti banange bintu nga bitambula bulungi. Sitaani n'agamba nti sinateekamu ebyange. Naye kakati it's not too late tusobola okutereeza ebyonna ebitateredde. Nga tumaliriza twagala okukubiriza abantu bonna bannayuganda nga kakiiko tewaddeyo okulaba nti ebintu bitambula bulungi. Kale mukaweefu okulaba nti tumalawo endooliito zonna oba obutakaanya obuzeewo oba embeera yonna ezzeewo tulaga ekifaananyi kibi nga bannayuganda. Wiiki ejja tugenda kubeera n'olukuŋŋaana lwaffe olwokusatu. Twateekawo enkola kati okubeeranga na enkuŋŋaana okubeera na meeting na agents ba presidential candidates, okubeera na n'okusinkana aba presidential candidate agents ba presidential candidates, ebitongole by'okwerinda Uganda Police Force n'akakiiko k'ebyokulonda. Twakakola enkuŋŋaana 2 katugenda kubeera n'olukuŋŋaana oba meeting ey'okusatu wiiki ejja. Tulabe kiki ekitaataganyiza embeera okusooka eyaliwo ng'ebintu nga bitambula bulungi. Kiki ekizeewo? What has happened? What is it that is causing this fracas that we are seeing, which nobody wants to see really? N'ekyo nga kakiiko njagala tutegeeza bannayuganda baleme kweraliikirira. Akakiiko ebintu kabikutte bulungi. Naye bwe tuba twagala kalulu ak'emirembe k'amazima n'obwenkanya, buli muntu yenna wekikwatako ayina ekyakola oba kiki ayinawo oba process oba stage ng'ayenyigidde mu kalulu kano. Singa tugondera amateeka ne tubeera bawulize bannange, eggwanga lyaffe lijja kusigala liri emirembe, tujja kubeera n'akalulu ak'emirembe, teri kweraliikirira, teri biki, naye ffe tulina okusalawo akalulu kaffe kagenda kubeera ka ngeri ki. Mwebale nnyo, mwebalire ddala bassebo ne bannyabo. Mukama bakuume.
Thank you very much, Lord Chairperson of the Electoral Commission. He's going to take questions. Please limit them to questions and focus to the press briefing. You say your name. Can I have that microphone? Can I have that roving microphone? Yes. Paul Bakabulindi.
Thank you so much, Mr. Chairman. Paul Bakabulindi from BBS Refiner. I have like 2 questions, and I'm going to be direct One is about handling the complaints. I personally am interested in knowing how far have you gone? Are you done with hearing the petitions? If it is so, how many, in case of members of parliament, how many have been denominated? How many are going to be given a chance to be nominated? Because we all know that some brought their complaints being not being given a chance to be nominated. And we would like to know the number of people in your ruling who were given a chance to be nominated and the number of people who were denominated. Two, it's all about, we have seen the cases of raising number of MPs who have gone through unopposed. We want to know from you the number, the exact number of those people who have been gone through unopposed.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
UBC? Yes, let's go ahead.
Okay. Jude, Radio 1, Radio 2. Chairman, one of them is, my colleague has mentioned it, but again, Chairman, they are choosing you, particularly you. I think you have also heard about it. And it's about the presidential candidate of National Unity Platform. He's saying that you don't have at the moment powers and you're just keeping quiet. Why does it take long for you to respond to such serious concerns? Secondly, another one is about the number of voters. We are getting 21.68 and what have you. Have we got those who have made double registration, and how many are they, and what are the charges in case they are there, sir? Thank you very much.
Thank you, Jude.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. My name is Ivan Kahwa. I work for UBC. I have three. You talked about candidates campaigning at night. Kindly let us know who these candidates are. Number two, security has been beating people. I never talked to the security agencies. They complain that the people are beating security officers. As the referee in this whole election process, do you feel that the ground is leveled to achieve a better electoral outcome? Then number three, it's to do with statistics. I have seen that the number of voters has increased by 3 million from 18 to 21. That's a good one. But when you look at the people who voted in 2021, they were about only 10 million, meaning 8 million people did not turn up to vote, even if you added the invalid votes. Now, this time around, what assurance are you giving anybody who is interested in the electoral process of Uganda that apparently the number of people who come to vote will increase? Because realistically, only 6 million people sent the head of state to the State House. As the Electoral Commission, kindly give the Ugandans assurance that this time around we may see a lot of Ugandans interested to go and participate in the polling process.
Give it Shamim.
Thank you, Chair. My name is Shamim Nabakoza. Chair, I would like to know from you, one, if you have taken note of the dogs deployed by the security agencies and how they are operating in the elections. I would want to know from you, there are complaints of about 300 plus individuals arrested. I don't know if Electoral Commission takes interest in those kind of offenses that happen in elections and what exactly you do with it. Also, Chair, I would want to know from you, there are petitioners that are consistently here. The Honorable Sech Kubo and his team are consistently here. Equally, the Nakawa team. Are those part of the petitions you have concluded? Thank you very much, Chair. Also, the other thing we would like to hear from you is whether you have taken any sanctions, because you take note of what transpired in Kiruhura. I want to know if you have taken any measures as Electoral Commission, the superintendent of this election, in finding out what exactly transpired, especially with the individuals seen in the yellow T-shirts. Thank you, Chair.
Bring it here. No, bring it here. bring it here to. That's the.
Petitioners, when do you expect to dispose of these over 300 cases that have been before you? We have, you said there are quite about 83,000 contestants, and all of them paid nomination fees. May we know from you how much did the commission collect from these contestants, and how much will remain for the commission, and how much will go to the national coffers? And the very last is about gazetting unopposed candidates. I understand the speaker wrote to you about gazetting those who went unopposed. Can the commission pronounce itself on this? Thank you.
Give it to him. Give it to him.
Felix Cheyne is my name, from Sunrise newspaper. Lord Chair, politicians out there are claiming that you are one of the most distinguished legal brain. And your mother ministry, Ministry of Justice, also headed by one of the finest legal brain. But at the same time, they are witnessing bigotry law. Bigotry law, we are talking about prejudice, whereby when someone is requesting to register a political party, you request them their particulars from, I think, 98 districts. But again, for presidential nomination, you do the same thing, yet you are the one who gave them permit to operate. That double work every time they are registering. Two, it's about, yes, about what? Another question is about the way you handle dispatching money to political parties under iPod. It creates impression that EC is sided with the ruling elites. So could you be kind and explain this, what's surrounding the entire process?
Thank you.
Lord Justice, my name is Setu Amanchuram from Cruise Media.
Which one?
Cruise Media.
Okay.
Lord Justice, I have a question. You've just said that there is going to be equal distribution of these voter verification machines all over the country. But we know there are polling stations actually which even don't have a maximum of 200 voters. And there are polling stations in the urban centers which have more than 1,000 voters. Is it really equal and fair to distribute these machines equally?
Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you very much, Chair. I am Henry Baguma, UBC radio stations. Sir, I've heard from the media reports quoting UPC President, Chairperson Akena James, saying he's still in the race and that he's waiting to be declared so it starts his campaign. Can we get the confirmation from you, sir? Is General James Akena still in the race, or it's a closed chapter? Thank you.
Nagita, give it to Dorothy.
Yes, Chair. My name is Dorothy. I work with NTV.
Speak up, please. Speak up.
My first question, Dorothy Najita, NTV. Our Chair would like you to share with us the breakdown of the voters per region. And also, you talked about violating traffic guidelines and all that. But we have seen cases in the campaign grounds where the police officers, they are pepper spraying the crowds, yet they are supposed to be in that ground. Is it really right for them to do that? Thank you.
Thank you. Give it to Jamila. Jamila is there.
Good afternoon, Chair. My name is Jamila Mlindo Nwaha from NBS. I have two questions. One is about the voter register, and I would love to know if the Commission has finalized cleaning the register? And also when it comes to the BBK machines, is the EC ditching the hard copy or manual registers as well as the national IDs, as you had earlier on communicated that they would be used for identification of voters? The other question is,
okay.
Okay, the last question on the BBK is, what law are you employing to take on this?
Thank you. Let's have, bring it back. Give it to that man next to, introduce yourself, please.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. My name is Joseph Kapara. I'm working with Uganda Catholic Television.
Uganda Catholic?
Uganda Catholic Television, UCTV. I'm inquiring about the campaign regulations. Among them, the candidates are not allowed to campaign near schools or interrupt academic activities. But there are serious allegations that some candidate is fetching school children, learners, and ferrying them to their campaign rallies. Has this reached your desk, sir?
Thank you. Give it to KFM. Okay, please, go ahead.
Yes, this is Derek Luanga from Hope TV. Now, kanchibuze mu Luganda. Lotche ayogedde ku bagoberezi oba ku bantu aboyerekera abeesimbyewo. Ensonga eyo okuva lwe twatandika bajoogerako ne bajoogerako. Naye abantu bano bo abeesimbyewo bagamba si be bayita abantu. Ate poliisi yo bwejja ekuba bukubi. Lwaki tebateekawo measures endala ng'akakiiko ne kayambako mu ekyo? Oba magezi ki gagenda okusala ekyo kikume, kubanga tetusuubira nti bali abeesimbyewo balina enkola gye bajja okukozesa okukoma ku abo ababawerekera.
Webale nnyo kuba oyo.
Yes, nze Mulangira Dembe Yona, Reporter News. Chairman, register gy'otwanjulidde wano ey'abalonzi. Eri mu balonzi abukadde 21. Naye NRM erimu 2. Simaba olaba ekintu kino. NRM erimu 2, gw'olina 21. Isn't it a shame on you? Nti gwakola national level. Register yo, because we are 45 million Ugandans. Gw'okubanga olina register erina 21. Ng'ekibiina just one political party kirina voters register erimu abalonzi 2. My second question is, ku nsonga oyogedde ku candidate wano ali continuously amenya amateeka g'okulonda. Candidate kyoyo era etteeka lyogera ki ku candidate oyo violating amateeka buli ssaawa? Ekibuuzo kyange kinaasembayo, oyogedde nti n'ogamba nti bano ab'akalonde Kakuume, Kawenje, sigalawo bagenda babakwatanga enseenene. Mu bufunzo bawaddeyo mu mikono gya poliisi babakwatenga enseenene tuli mu season.
Okay, Wono. Then I think Lord Chair, you take those?
Thank you, Lord Chair. My name is Hussein Samuel from the Daily Monitor. When you are registering new voters, by the time the prescribed time elapsed, you had new 600,000 voters. And you made an extension of 7 days, and today you are unveiling three more new voters. We want to understand, in 7 days, which tactics did you use to raise 2.3 million voters? Thank you.
No, Chidemu, can you repeat? Please repeat your question.
During the registration of new voters, the EC, by the time the 1 month period elapsed, had registered 600 new voters. And today you are unveiling 21 million, meaning we have jumped from 18.1 million to 21 million. Those are 3 million new voters. So I'm wondering, in 7 days period you extended, how did you raise 2.3 million voters? Thank you.
Thank you, Chair.
be a continuous process. And that process is aligned to the registration of citizens by NIRA. As NIRA continues to register citizens, and among those citizens are those who have turned 18 years of age, and since 2021 elections ended, NIRA continued to register a number of citizens who had turned 18. So by the time we came to the update exercise, there were a number of Ugandans who had turned 18 who had become eligible voters who we had already incorporated or included on the National Voters Register. So the update exercise was only to give opportunity to those who have not yet been registered by NIRA, who are not yet on the National Voters Register. They are now 18 years and above, and they want to participate, or they want to get registered as voters. So it's not that the update exercise is the one which generated the new voters since 2021. No. There has been a continuous process of registration of voters, and the update is within the law. It says before any election takes place, the Electoral Commission shall put in place the update process to enable all those who want to register as first-time voters to do so. I think I've explained that. That number has been a continuously growing from 2021 up to the time of update. So when we generated 600,000 something new registrations during update, which was about 3 weeks, does not mean that is the difference, the only difference in the addition of voters on the National Voters Register since 2021. Not at all. I think I've answered that one. Now, on the issue of, because I talked about it in Uganda, I want to emphasize it. Voter protectors is not a concept known in the electoral laws. It's not known in the electoral laws for one to be dubbed or tagged or labeled or identified as a voter protector. It's not there. But I've had some candidates, some people, encouraging either their supporters and the laws are very clear on who should be at the polling station, the polling officials in the various categories, the agents for the candidates, the police constable, the observers who have been accredited according to what the political parties and other individuals or groups will have applied or indicated. So as the only people in the law. Now for you to come therefore at a polling station with a tag, voter protector, I am saying you are alien, you are a masquerader, you will be arrested, period. However, the people, the voters, are at liberty to witness, after you have cast your vote, please leave room for other voters who have not cast their vote to come and cast their vote. Mind you, some of these polling stations are so small, particularly in the urban areas like Kampala. The space of a polling station is so small. Now, if you, because I've had some candidates say, when you cast your vote, don't go away. Now, a polling station with 600 voters, or 1,000 as you say, although the number of 1,000, I'm going to explain that number now. If you all gather there at a small location, you have candidates, agents numbering about 60. You think these people, the 300 voters, will keep silent? They will keep just seated like they are seated in a classroom or in a church? In a church we even sing, but we sing in an orderly manner. There's bound to be some bit of chaos. There's bound to be some bit of, because you have all this mix of voters for this candidate, voters for this candidate. They are, each one is Bewaga, Owanga Kalide, Owanga Kalide. Then you before you know it, there's a commotion between these supporters. So that's why we say, you have cast your vote, please go. However, at the time of counting, yeah, you may be present, but you can only be present as not part of the counting. You are not participating in the counting. You are only watching or observing, seeing what is going on. The people, because I have seen some polling stations, you know what happens? Because the people, they gather all around the polling station. They are counting. Those who are standing 100 meters away, they all draw around. They surround these polling officials. As the presiding officer is counting, you hear the crowd taking over. Ako kafu, kafu. Now if the presiding officer says, no, see kafu, neda, kafu. Now, an atmosphere of intimidation is created at a polling station. Even when someone has put the tick on the face or on the symbol of that candidate, but not in the box created or which was put there for the tick or the thumbprint. Kafu, anta tade mukifananyi, akatade ku symbol. Kafu. No, the law says, as long as the intention of the voter can be established, that karuhusi kafu, kalamu. But the people there, the crowd, they don't know the law. They don't know the law distinguishes between, or the law allows, even though the tick, the authorized mark, is not in the correct box, but is put either on the symbol or on the photo of the candidate, because the people don't know, they in a big chorus, kafu. Then this person is intimidated. Bagambi kafu. So that's why we say, the people did not go through training. We shall have trained the agents. We shall have trained our polling officials to understand, to be able to discern the intention of the voter before you declare a ballot paper the kafu or is invalid. But the mob, I'm sorry to use this term, at times the people around seem to take over the whole process. So that's why we say, please, voter protector is alien in the electoral laws. It's not known. You have your agents. If you want, quote, voter protectors, your agents can play that role. But don't give people tags. And what do you call these things? These jackets, what do they call them? Like we put on for easy. What do they call them? Jackets with the voter protector for candidate Gundi. I am saying, and then you walk with the swag into the polling station, you will be arrested. Period. We don't want people to create their own things, and they think that I've said this is how it is going to be. It's not going to be like that. And I'm saying it unequivocally, that anyone who comes masquerading as a voter protector at a polling station, when that identity or concept is not known in our electoral laws, is not acceptable. You are bound to be arrested. Don't waste your time printing or making tags, giving them to your people that these are voter protectors. Agents are supposed to be given, your agents are supposed to be given a letter of appointment by the candidate. I've appointed Shami Munawakoza, my agent, at this polling station. The letter will be handed over to the presiding officer. For those who will be accredited as observers in that sub-county where these polling stations are, they'll be given tags by the commission. But you sit in your party headquarters and elsewhere, you print things, Simanye voter protector. I have said, and I repeat, that is not known in our electoral concepts and laws. Those people will be treated as masqueraders and they stand to be arrested. Secondly, let the process of counting votes be for the polling officials and the candidates, agents, or the observers. At the polling stations, the register that is going to be utilized is that of the Electoral Commission, not of a political party. So a political party can have their numbers, 1,000, 10 million, 20 million, 30 million. We have no problem with that. But for us, what we are saying, the people who are eligible voters, as per our data, are 21.6 million. So there's nothing shameful about that. Okay, somebody raised, I think he raised it in Uganda. The candidates say they are not the ones who invite these people who follow them. Now for us, we are lawyers. This is what we call circumstantial evidence. You may not have direct evidence on something, but you look at the circumstantial evidence. Tell me, you are going to this designated venue. You are heading there. But you move in such a manner, you're on top of your vehicle, you are waving to everybody, you are moving at a speed 20, maybe less than even 20 kilometers per hour. What do you see this as? Isn't this encouraging, enticing people to join you? What is wrong with you driving directly to your campaign venue as we have seen some candidates do? What's wrong? Let the candidates try that. Let the candidates drive directly to the designated campaign venues, and then we see how security or anybody will come in to interrupt them. But you are moving with a sea of people at snail pace speed. You are on top of your vehicle, waving to every Tom, Dick, and Harry. Then people are joining you. Then before you know it, you have a huge crowd, a mass of people covering the entire road. For goodness sake. Then you tell me we don't invite these people. You are encouraging them by your conduct. So this must stop. You're encouraging them. You're the one encouraging them. Uganda Catholic campaign regulations. And it's failing learners. Let me say this for the beginning. Maybe I push it to you. In our schools, do we have people who are voters? Do we have some people who are voters in our schools? I have been going to secondary schools myself as chairman. I've been talking to students. And the first question I would ask, how many of you are registered voters? Quite a number would raise their hands. Those who are 18, those who are in senior 5 or 6, they are voters. And those are people, they are also supposed to vote. Some of them are on the voters register. So when they are allowed to attend the rally, I don't see what problem there is. But what I don't understand is whether these people are being told, stop your lessons, you go and attend the rally. Or whether the people who are the students who are being ferried, they are non-voters. I don't know. I'm not appraised of all the circumstances or the factors concerning these students. But the students, we have a number of students who are voters, and I think these students also should make an informed choice of who they should vote for come polling. And mind you, you remember polling takes place during holidays, January 15th. I think all except maybe a few universities, but most of the students will be at home during holidays, so they will also participate in elections. So I think the students also deserve to know who is the credible candidate, who is the right candidate, whom we should vote for, but when we exercise our constitutional right. Now, Jamila, yes, we have, I think that's why we are able to come out now with a final figure of 21.6 something million, because we have finished cleaning the register. And that's why we're coming up with that figure. Okay, thank you. Now, I think I've answered that one. EC ditch the use of the manual register. You know, you see, if you go to the law, it says the EC shall issue a register for each polling station. And each candidate is entitled to a copy of the register of his or her constituency. Now, and that register is supposed to be given to the to the agents of the candidate at a polling station to enable them confirm the identity of the voter who is coming to vote. So the manual register is still in use at a polling station, and that's what the law provides. However, in the advent of technology, whatever is put on the kit must be on the manual register. If you are not on the manual register, if a voter or voters' particulars are not on the manual register, they cannot be on the biometric kit for that polling station. He or she will not be there. So the manual register is still fundamental. But we are saying, unlike in the past, where one would come, the outcome would come, okay, with only use of manual register, he votes. When he comes back, maybe towards 4 p.m., maybe these voters or these officials are already tired. They cannot tell whether the outcome voted or not. He votes again. Now you will be biometrically identified. The kit, if you come back, you try again to put your thumb on the kit. It will tell you you have already voted. We shall carry out the demonstration. And really it is our desires commission to do to the media. Because for you, you will tell the people, this is what we have seen. When I will try to vote the second time, this is what the machine said. So that's why, but I want to assure you that the manual register will be available, and each candidate will be given a copy of that register to disseminate it to their agents. The law is there. The law says the Electoral Commission may use technology in managing elections. The law is there. That says may. And we think that given the world we are living in now, we cannot deny the importance of technology, especially where some of our people are prone to cheating elections. Some of our people are prone to cheating elections. That's why this system has been improved and upgraded to ensure that cheaters, if I may call them, deny the importance of technology, especially where some of our people are prone to cheating elections. Some of our people are prone to cheating elections. That's why